And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon, friends and traders. Welcome to the market recap for Monday, October 10th, 2022. I am JD, once again, filling in for our good friend and mentor, Mr. John Hoagland. I hope you all had a great trading day. I myself was simply just an active observer today. I had a pretty heavy meeting schedule. My calendar was pretty filled up today, so I wasn't able to give the markets quite enough. I wasn't able to give it enough attention to consider putting on a trade, I'll say that. As far as today went, we did talk a bit this morning about market participation probably slowing down today due to the Columbus Day holiday, and that's pretty much exactly what we saw, I think. Volume was down pretty much across the board. Markets were pretty thin. I expect maybe we'll be back to normal again tomorrow, though, once everybody returns from their nice 3-day weekends. As always, thank you for choosing to spend your time with us. Our goal here is always accurate context, sound risk management, and hopefully we can walk away with a little more knowledge and understanding than before we started. Remember to hit that lucky like button. Feel free to share your comments and feedback in the chat. We do appreciate and encourage all forms of feedback. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get those wonderful updates every time we go live. All right, moving on. Well, first let's take a look in the chat and see who's here. Tachyon, hello. The Rooster, Glitter Sandwich, Tachyon, plus 130 for practice. Breaking in for tomorrow. Back to the combine. Yeah, today was a good day to take a step back, fire up the old practice account, and just test out your thin market trading skills. Afternoon, the Rooster. Afternoon, everyone. A little over 500 profit today, less than 1,000 from step one. Not bad. Anytime you could profit on a day like today, that's a huge win. And less than $1,000 from step one. Yeah, I think you're on the right step, Rooster. Good job, everyone. Nicholas Sodaro, good afternoon. All right. What do you say we dive into a couple charts, and then I'll open it up to some questions. Sarah Hall, greetings. How are you? All right, not a whole lot to report this afternoon, but let's run through it anyway. Oh, I did forget to mention I had these stats up. VIX pulled back just a little bit to 32.52 today, and bond markets were closed today, so the 10-year Treasury yield is still holding at 3.88%. All right, now here we are. Here's our daily of the E-mini S&P 500. Not a whole lot to report today. Low volume chop fest pretty much all day. Here we are. Pretty close to settlement. Trading around the VWAP to close out the day. We're still in the middle of this balance area from last week and maybe looking for some follow through to break this low from last week. I'll be looking at that tomorrow. Let's take a look at our 4-hour. There's a little close up. Made a low overnight, rallied a bit after the 8:30 Central Time bell. Turned around, made a run to take out that low, the overnight low. No. Then we made a move back to settlement, and looks like we're breaking just a couple ticks to close out the day. Just a little bit lower. Over to our 30-minute. I'm going to burn through these real fast. Here we are, open up in range at 8:30. Open up in range from Friday, I should say, at 8:30. Cut through a couple bull traps on the way down to take out the overnight low here. Then recovered. Tight range, pretty low volume. Today was balanced, I want to say. We almost closed back inside of value from Friday. Closed just outside of it, pretty much. I'm happy to say that I stayed on the sidelines today. I usually, when markets are like this, I tend to get chopped up pretty quick. I get trapped in the chop, and it's hard for me to get out. So the best thing for me personally to do was to sit on the sidelines. So I'm glad that I did that instead of trying to force an issue. But let's move on to our crude oil chart. Here's our daily. This market, on the other hand, had a nice little pullback today. Volume was pretty light, but it traded in just over a $3 range, which is a nice healthy range for crude oil. I'd say it was a good day to shake out a few week longs. So here's a little close-up. This market kind of stayed in balance up until about 1 o'clock Central Time when this break started. Right at the top of the hour, trading below this 10-period moving average, closing below there also. Closing out right on the lows for the day. Here's our better look on our 30-minute. Took out the overnight high by about 9 cents up here. That was at 8:30 this morning. Then spent the rest of the session sort of inside value from Friday up until 1 o'clock, that is. Price had tested this value area low from Friday. Held there for, I would say it pretty much held there. Took out some weak stops on both sides of the market. Ran the buy stops, run the sell stops. That's a typical holiday market move. When the institutional traders are away from their desks, the bots take over and start playing their games. And that's when smaller traders like me, that's when we get hurt. Going toe-to-toe with a robot. Never a good game plan. Here is the NASDAQ chart. So NASDAQ was a little bit weaker than the ES. Not a whole lot. Volume looked a little more decent than the ES did too. This momentum oscillator down at the bottom here, still kind of hinting at weakness, future weakness, and prices closed below the June lows back here. So we're back down this way again. Here's a look at the 4-hour. This just looks like consolidation overnight into the 8:30 open. We had this little dip and rip right here. Took out the overnight lows. Then the low from last week also. Then headed back towards settlement price and more consolidation. Pretty flat though, if you ask me. Same scenario as the ES here on the 30-minute. Open in range and in value from Friday. Cut through a couple bull traps on the way down to take out the overnight low. Then recovered. Tight range, low volume, almost back to settlement. This market squeezed out those weak overnight longs that were buying it right before the open. Came right back into line. Then came right back into line. This is why I hate trading holiday markets too. Like I just said, bots would have forced me out of every trade I put on today in this market, I got a feeling. I'm glad I sat on the sideline. And like I said, it wasn't by choice that I was kind of out of the market today. I just had a heavy meeting calendar. My schedule was booked pretty tight today, so I just didn't have any time to trade. Here's our gold chart. Here's a daily of gold. Another nice break in gold today. That makes 4 in a row. Even though I'm less than impressed with this volume, this market still feels weak to me. Trading below all these shorter term moving averages and the slow stochastic oscillator down here. Still signaling continued weakness for now. Here's our 4-hour. So we're right back to these previous areas of balance, going back to mid-September and late September. But volume is sort of drying up a little bit. This level, let's call it 1685 to 1665, could become a significant line in the sand for this week. We're there right now. Let's see if this congestion area still holds. We are seeing some buyer. Every attempt to buy this market just gets eaten up right now. So let's see what happens tomorrow when everyone is back from their long weekends. It'll be interesting to see. Here's a look at the 30-minute. The bulk of this move happened in the overnight session, the overnight Globex session. It was a nice spike down at 9:30, then choppy sideways grind for the rest of the day. We still have a pretty decent gap here from overnight. It could be someone's intention to get some orders filled in that gap area tomorrow. I wouldn't surprise to see that happen. We could be poised for a little pullback. I'm not going to position myself for a pullback, but if we got a nice little pop tomorrow, I would be looking for some opportunity to short this market. Let's see what else is coming in the chat. Glitter Sandwich. You're welcome, Glitter. Have a great day to you also. All right. Well, I don't see many questions coming in. So, if that's it, our economic calendar for tomorrow is pretty light. A handful of bond auctions and announcements, and we have 2 Fed governors scheduled to speak, but that's about it for tomorrow. And if there's nothing else, thanks again for everybody who hung around in there with me early this morning. Had a little hiccup in the market forecast. We did get it up and running. It was just a little late. I literally did an entire market forecast show, and I wasn't streaming live. Pretty disheartening. But again, thanks for everybody that stuck around for part 2 of that. Much appreciated. So I hope you all have a great evening. I will see you again bright and early tomorrow for the market forecast. All right, everyone. Have a great night.